Meantime, MF Global's customers are missing millions of dollars. And this morning, we're hearing that there is no guarantee that they will ever get 100% of their money back. I want to bring in counsel for MF Global customers, James Koutoulas and his partner, Jon Roe. Both of you gentlemen are participants in the markets, but through this Commodity Customer Coalition, you're helping to represent about 8,000 individuals who have lost their money. James, what has changed since we last spoke?
A lot, actually. Late last night, both the CME Group and counsel for Trustee Giddens have filed pleadings in court that support a lot of what we've been saying all along, that customers have super priority rights on traceable funds that wind up in the MF Global Holdings Company.
Traceable, though, is a key phrase in there. You heard from John Corzine in that written testimony that he has no idea what happened to $1.2 billion worth of funds.
Right. Well, Mr. Corzine's testimony, with all due respect, is cowardly. The guy resigned 4 days after the bankruptcy, and then, no one forced him to resign. He made that decision, and now he's saying in testimony before Congress that he can't explain where it is because he doesn't have access to his notes and his records because he resigned. That's a cop-out.
That's a cop-out from your perspective. Jon Roe, you're also engaged in this. Your father is also a congressman, I understand. How is that affecting the conversations you're having in Washington?
Well, it's affecting it in the sense that we've been able to get some access to some congressmen that I'm not sure that we otherwise would have. But in a sense, all that's done for us is really put us in a position to access representatives as people should be able to do by themselves. They're here to ask questions. They're here to serve their constituents who have their money tied up at MF Global. And we think they've done an admirable job of that. And we think that going forward, there are some solutions that they can put in place to mitigate the risk of this from happening. You can't stop fraud from happening, but what you can do is mitigate the risks of this happening again and the extent of the impact of it. Perhaps we can stop an asset freeze in the future.
Well, with making people whole, giving them some restitution, what is your best bet at this point? What are you pursuing besides suing those in leadership positions? I mean, are you looking to claw back salaries? Are you looking to unfreeze assets of the bankrupt firm? What are the paths that are possible?
Well, it's important to note that the trustee in the pleadings that James here has spoken about noted that there is no customer property there is no property that is not customer property if we're not made whole from MF Global Incorporated. So to an extent, if we're not made whole, all of the assets of that firm are our assets. So
Even though this is a company in bankruptcy.
That's correct. And they went to bankruptcy. The holding company went to bankruptcy with $41 billion in assets. We're looking at only $600 million to $1.2 billion that we need to recover. So I really don't foresee a scenario, although it's possible, where we don't get 100% of the funds. I honestly think now that we've been able to influence the trustee, that this is really just a question of time.
Well, the trustee says there's no 100% guarantee here, but James, you're not on the witness list today. There are 2 more hearings at which Jon Corzine will be testifying. Will you be up there at the microphone?
I'm not sure if we're going to be on next week, but we spoke with 7 different congressional staffs and congressmen yesterday, and they are working to get us on future panels. They have also taken a very close look at the white paper that we co-authored and a list of proposed questions that we've been circulating around the Hill. So whether or not we directly testify, our influence will definitely be heard, and I think we've done a great job working with congressmen to better educate them on the intricacies of the futures markets and this very complex situation.
It's an easy thing to do. I mean, what level of questioning are we going to see today?
Today, honestly, I don't think we're going to see anything too substantive. I think it's really going to be kind of a soundbite type hearing. Corzine's going to go up there and talk a lot, but not really say anything. And I think we're going to get into more meat next week.
All right, Jon, James, thank you very much for coming on and telling us about your case.